And time now for a segment brought to you by North Point Bank. The summer housing market continues to surprise buyers and sellers. Here to share an update on all of what's going on is Zachary Levesque, Director and Branch Manager for North Point Bank. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Nice to see you.
Well, I was just saying to you, every street you go down, you see for sale signs on it. So what is the market looking like?
So the market, we experienced such low inventory, right when the pandemic hit into the fall. Usually in the spring and summer, the inventory always goes up. People come to market during that time because there's not as much activity in the fall and winter time. And we're seeing that. So we had a low of actually under 600 units, single family homes listed in Rhode Island 6 to 8 months ago, which is crazy when you think about how many people have pre-approved and want to buy a house. We're up over 1,200, which is a sign that inventory is increasing. The question is it increasing because of seasonality, or is it increasing because we're really getting inventory back, which will help because there's so many buyers looking for homes right now?
Yeah, and is it also people saying, oh man, our neighbors were able to get this much for their home, maybe it's time for us to put it on the market?
Yeah, I think good point, and I think there's a lot of factors, and that's one of them. I think, if you have an asset and you know that you can get a lot more money now potentially than something 1 or 2 years down the line, I think it's starting to soak in and resonate with people, and I think that's a big contributing factor to inventory going up. The fact that they can get more money for their home. The question is, can they find a home? And that was, I think, a little bit of a concern, which we're not seeing as much because inventory, as we speak, is rising in the Ocean State.
Which is a good thing. Is it still a seller's market?
It's still, well, I mean, there's no true definition for a seller's market. It's still a seller's market because we're still much lower than the normal inventory in the state of Rhode Island and countrywide. A normalized market has over 2,200 to 2,400 single family homes listed in our state, and we're still right around 1,200. So we're still low, which means it's still a seller's market, but we're seeing signs that inventory is rising, which means it could pivot to a buyer's market potentially soon. There's a lot of factors that will determine that.
Now, one of the other things too is obviously determinant would be the rates too.
Yeah. I mean, rates are probably the biggest indicator, and right now rates are right above historic lows. There's a lot of pressure to keep interest rates down. There was a meeting last week to talk about tapering bond sales. As the Fed buys more bonds, rates continue to stabilize and potentially go lower. We haven't seen that yet. So with so much pressure to keep rates low because of what's going on in the world, obviously, if that pressure stays, we should see rates continue to remain low. If they do start to rise, I think it's going to have negative effects on the real estate market.
One of the things I was reading this morning, and I know there have been stories the past couple of weeks, Rhode Island is a very hot market, and people from every place are moving here. Yeah,
Rhode Island has so many niches that are interesting in real estate. We have Newport. We just talked about Block Island.
Sure.
There's so many affluent areas, Barrington, the East Side. And I think there's a lot really to offer in Rhode Island. There's seasonality. There's, you really do experience every single fall, winter, summer. So I think that the whole rush away from the city, away from these big cities, is impacting us in a positive way. And you're seeing a lot of out-of-state buyers. I'm also seeing it personally in and around the Cape. There's a lot of New York and Boston people that are selling their properties, or maybe even keeping them and getting a second home on Cape Cod because everybody's kind of experienced a slower lifestyle and liking it.
Right. Have you seen a change too with people being able to work from any place? And they're like, well, if I don't have to be here, we can get a great house here.
Yeah, I think the question is, how long will this remote attitude stay and how long will employers allow it? But, it's been, over a year since the pandemic hit, and I think everybody's realizing that a lot of jobs can be done remotely. And if that trend continues and if it intensifies, you're going to see a lot of people continue to move out of the cities and to be in areas that are maybe a little more, a slower lifestyle, proximity to ocean, just a relaxed life.
Right. Well, we got it all here in Rhode Island. Thanks for coming in, Zach. Good to have you here. If this segment was brought to you by North Point Bank, now to get in touch with Zach and even more info, you can head on over to roadshow.com.